.org.
Valentine's Day is just 2 days away, but this happy holiday can feel hurtful if you've loved and lost. Relationship coach Kathy Dawson is here with soothing words if you're suffering, along with advice about letting yourself love again. So welcome back to the show, Kathy.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, you're a relationship coach. I would think you would just love Valentine's Day.
Oh, I do. It's one of my favorite holidays. And for people who aren't grieving, I'm all about it. But if you're grieving, you've just lost a spouse or a partner, or you just had a divorce, it's obviously very difficult. And the media is hyping it up, right? And so we tend to think, what's wrong with me? I feel terrible. I'm not. It's really important to not pressure yourself. You've just been through a major loss, and to do something to romance yourself, right? I mean, get a massage, get a pedicure, go somewhere. I'd like to pack all these people up and send them to an island, just for the day, because that's how difficult it can be. Yeah.
Another question comes up, especially on Valentine's Day, is, am I ready for love again? If you have loved and lost, how do we know for sure it's time to put yourself out there?
It's different for everybody. There's no perfect time, but you have to kind of go with your gut. And if you're showing up on websites and you're thinking about dating, I mean, that's a sign that maybe you're healing and that maybe it is the right time for you. Men in general tend to get out there sooner than women, and I have a theory about this.
Oh,
I'm not the only one.
Why is that?
Right. I think men in a committed relationship become emotionally dependent on their wives sometimes. They become an anchor because they don't have the social network that many women do. They don't have perhaps the friends or the family members. And so when that person's gone, they are really hurting so badly. So they might be more likely to go out sooner than women. Not everybody, but some.
Okay. And is this mostly after death?
It could be, well, usually it is after, well, death is a whole different thing. But
yeah, is there something different between death and divorce?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're grieving in both, but with divorce, there's aside from sadness, there's also sometimes bitterness and anger. And I've seen that happen where someone's so consumed by it that then they think, oh, I'm going to go out and date. I mean, they're out there. That's not real attractive, right? So I tell people who are going through that to get some therapy, get some counseling, work on those issues before you put yourself out there, right?
So you kind of have to heal yourself before anything else good can happen.
You really do. And pay attention. You'll know when you're healing.
So you start looking at the websites a little bit, or you start asking your friends for who's out there or things like that?
That says it all, right? When you're in such pain, that's the last thing you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'd pay attention to that.
When you think you have healed and you found somebody, what advice do you have?
Okay. So what I think, first of all, some people, they'll say you're rushing it, right? Or some people will say, what are you doing? It's been 5 years, get out there. But whatever you do, I would really think about taking some time to get what I call a work sample from the person. And that means give enough time so that you can see them in different situations and how they react and what their values are, okay? And I'm not opposed to 4 seasons. There's a reason we have this in nature, right? There's a beginning, and then there's a kind of a closure end thing going on.
And it starts again.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see somebody in each season and how they are, personality-wise, energetically. It's not a bad idea. But then again, if you know somebody who's like 3 weeks later saying, I'm getting married, what are you going to say? It's not your life. You have to let them do what they're going to do, and they'll learn from whatever happens.
Okay. I think some good advice, as Valentine's Day is shortly coming up.
It is, yes. Strap in.
So happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. Whether you've been lucky or unlucky in love, if you've suffered a loss, only you know when you're ready to love again. So as Kathy says, don't let friends, family, or St. Valentine tell you any different. My thanks to Kathy for joining us today. Thanks.
You.
To learn more, call relationship coach Kathy Dawson at 216-536-8964 or log on to www.kathythecoach.com. Up next,